随着自由市场进入第20天，詹姆斯的去向依然是全美体坛最瞩目的焦点。今日 ESPN 的王牌内线记者夏姆斯·查拉尼亚、温霍斯特以及传奇球星帕金斯等重量级嘉宾齐聚一堂，探讨詹皇自由市场的最新动态。富保罗透露，目前没有完美的选择，但所有球队都已出牌，决定权完全在詹姆斯手中。令人震惊的是，迈阿密热火因为字母哥的加盟而声势大噪，克里夫兰骑士的家乡情怀依旧强烈，而金州勇士与费城76人也在暗中角力，让局势变得无比扑朔迷离。詹皇是否会选择落叶归根回到克利夫兰，还是前往金州携手史蒂芬·科里共创传奇？接下来，我们就透过中文字幕来收看这段精彩内容。
Look, we're on week 4 now, I believe, and everyone in the NBA is waiting on LeBron's decision, his choice now. And I spoke to Rich Paul, his longtime agent, this morning. And Rich Paul made it clear to me that the choice is LeBron James's right now. It's up to him on a choice of which team he wants to play for. All of the information is in. The teams are set. Everyone's made their moves. There is no decision, no choice yet. There's no timetable on a choice as of yet, but we know the teams: Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Golden State, Minnesota, all are waiting on this. This has a domino effect around the league with other free agents as well. My understanding, though, over the last couple of weeks is that the focus has been primarily, though, on the Eastern Conference teams being Cleveland, Miami, and Philadelphia. And we all continue to wait.
Yes, we do. And we know that the last 8 years that LeBron James was in the Eastern Conference, he made it to the NBA Finals each one of those 8 years. But for now, Shams, you and me, our vacations will also have to wait until LeBron James makes this decision. We'll continue to check in with you as this unfolds. But bringing it back inside our Los Angeles studios, Kendrick Perkins beaming in from Houston, Dave McMenamin, Anscapes, Mark Spears, Shanae Agumake. Dave, you were at FanFest last week. You were with LeBron James. You had a chance to speak to him a little bit. What did we learn? What do we know?
What we did learn is that the end is not near. You mentioned the Odyssey in the opening.
Of the decision or
no, the end of his
No
career.
spoilers, please. I haven't watched yet.
Oh, yeah, Sinead said no spoilers for the Odyssey.
It's a minor spoiler. It just keeps going and going.
Okay, I'll take one.
And he made it clear that the Swan Song is not upon us.
Okay.
Like, if he plays next year, that's not the farewell tour. He compared himself to Bruce Springsteen and the Rolling Stones as artists who still tour 50, 60 years since they first hit the charts with their records. And so that's one thing we learned. In terms of what team he's going to play for, he continued to keep it close to the vest. He had some fun with it. You know, he said, trust the process. The crowd went nuts on Friday. On Thursday, he said, I hear Warriors, I hear Philly, I hear Miami from people yelling it out from the crowd. He's not let anything. What he did do was echo what he said after Game 4 in the OKC series.
Okay.
It's like, I want to be in a competitive environment where I wake up every day and I want to pour myself into the work, and we're all working towards a common goal. And that remains the same thing.
Right, and that's where you get maybe the Eastern Conference conversation when you talk about being competitive, giving yourself the best chance to win. Perk, we saw you out there at FanFest too. Did you get a chance to talk to LeBron?
No, I did not. Matter of fact, I haven't spoke to LeBron in about a year and a half since he unfollowed me on social media. But look, listen, I don't know where he's going. I've been getting stopped. I was stopped in the airport. I was stopped at the Fan Fest, and everybody's like, oh, Perk, I know you know. And I was like, no, I don't. But it got me to thinking, right? Since everyone is sitting up here making their pitch, how about I make a pitch for us at NBA Today and ESPN? Hey, bro, you don't really need to play anymore. You don't need to play anymore. You're really good at breaking down the game. You have a high IQ for the game of basketball. And I'm pretty sure that over here at the worldwide leader, the Mouse, we could pay you more than vet minimum. You know what I'm saying? We could pay you more than vet minimum. How about you go ahead and close this chapter of your career and start your new one? We're waiting on you, my brother. You see what Tom Brady is doing? All GOATs have the transition of doing something great and moving on. Maybe the time is now.
Well, Perk, you might be still blocked on social media by LeBron. I did say hello, and it was nice to see him. But I also saw James Harden when I was hosting the Fanatics Fest stream, and I was like, James, what's your pitch? Because you are at the top of the list. A lot of people feel like Cleveland could be an opportunity. And he said, basically in different words, I'm paraphrasing, what's understood need not be explained. Cleveland is home. You don't even need to pitch him. He understands what the circumstances are. But also, when James came, he knew what the expectation was. The one word he said that people were like, hold on, wait a minute. He said, I'm going somewhere to win a championship. That was pre-LeBron James. Now you add potentially LeBron James to the mix there. I think that's the expectation. You can compete. You're in the Eastern Conference. But most importantly, as James...
And they were sitting on the edge of their seat. I promise you, midway through a sentence in the middle of his third hour was not when he was dropping breadcrumbs. I do think, however, he has seriously considered Philly. He absolutely has had conversations with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown. But he's also had conversations with players on other teams. And so that's what makes this decision so fascinating is you can make a reasonable case for Philadelphia. You can make a reasonable case for Miami. And of course, the case for Cleveland is very strong because he's from there. I do think that LeBron has some level of temptation to go outside the norm here. In other words, it would be a layup to go to Cleveland. And if he picks Cleveland, I think he won't have to do any explaining. I do think he has investigated Philly, and I do think he has looked into the process, so to speak. But no, Shay, I don't think this was anything but he's making a comment in the middle of a long day of content machining.
Stephen A.
I had cynics reach out to me and say, you know what? LeBron James should start a new sitcom. It should be called The Indecision because he can't make up his mind. And I came to his defense because I said, I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe he knows exactly where he's going. He just wanted to wait until the World Cup was over before he tells anybody. That's all. And Wendy, here's where my mindset lies. I've gone back and forth. I've vacillated back and forth because obviously he's got a home in Miami. He's got obviously a home in Akron, Ohio. But I've gone back and forth between Cleveland and Golden State for this reason. I think you go to Miami, that's about Pat Riley more so than it's about him. And even though fences have probably been mended to some degree, the bottom line is LeBron's trying to help himself, not Pat Riley. I think that when you look at Philly, that's just, the biggest appeal there is a fourth championship with a fourth different squad. And obviously nobody in NBA history has done that. So that might be something of an allure, of intrigue to him. But the reason why Cleveland and Golden State stand out in my mind is this. Literally in Golden State, he can have practice or game and fly home for 45 minutes and fly back the next morning. Literally, anytime he wants to, which means he would be near his family, which is obviously of paramount importance to him, particularly at this stage in his life. I don't think that that's a surprise to anybody. Here's the other thing. And Wendy, you can speak to this, but Doggy, you feel free to do so as well. I find it very hard to believe that LeBron would dangle Cleveland. That's not him when it comes to that area. That's home. And I think that for him to approach the final hours, minutes of his decision making, I don't think he's going to dangle Cleveland out there and then pick a Philadelphia or Miami. I think he does because Cleveland means so much to him. And because he's deified there and he can do no wrong. He passes gas, they'll call it perfume. He can do no wrong, okay? He goes to Cleveland, he knows what that area is gonna mean to him. And his swan song, to end his career feeling joy every single day that you go to work because you're that beloved. That is LeBron James in Cleveland. And I think the only thing that justifiably usurps that is him being near home, which Golden State presents to him as an option. Playing with the greatest shooter God ever created in Steph Curry, who is still a superstar personified in this game. Going to work with him every day. LeBron will be in a position where he can go from averaging 20 points a game to averaging 20 assists because you're throwing it to Steph Curry. That's how lethal that would be. And he's near home. And he can go back and forth anytime he wants to. So to me, it comes down to those two in terms of my thinking. I have no idea. This is not 2010. I have no idea what he is going to do. I haven't heard what he's going to do, but I believe.
詹姆斯这次的自由球员抉择，无疑将再次彻底改写 NBA 的联盟势力版图。从战术层面来看，如果他选择重返迈阿密热火，联手2届 MVP 得主字母哥与阿德巴约，这无疑会建立起全联盟最令人窒息的防守铁血新王朝。在季后赛 Playoffs 的高强度对抗中，詹皇的顶级球商与传球视野，能完美解放字母哥在内线的破坏力。两人甚至能上演无数次精彩的挡拆配合。但如果他选择前往金州勇士，与史蒂芬·科里这位史上最强射手携手，那将是截然不同的进攻盛宴。利用科里无解的三分球、3-pointer、牵制力，詹皇甚至不需要承担过多的得分压力，而是能化身为进攻发动机，用变向运球、crossover、撕裂防守，将球精准送到外线，轻松刷出大三元、triple double， 并在关键时刻投进关键球 clutch shot。 相较之下，回到克利夫兰骑士则是充满情怀的终局之战，那里有年轻 UF 阵容与家乡球迷毫无保留的爱戴。不论是追求历史第4冠的费城76人，还是追求卫冕的尼克，都必须严防这头雄狮的下一步动向。这场世纪抉择不仅关乎总冠军，更关乎历史地位的盖棺论定。各位球迷，你们觉得詹皇最终会选择联手科里，回归家乡骑士，还是前往迈阿密与字母哥共创铁血王朝？欢迎在下方留言分享你们的看法。感谢收看本期影片。詹皇的最终归宿究竟是哪里？欢迎在下方留下你的预测，也别忘了按赞、分享并订阅频道。我们下期影片再见。